Getting to know myself better through traveling to different cities. I don't know who said this before. It's not the city that you're experiencing, it is you in the city. It is experiencing another aspect of you, another facet of you in that city. I'm back on track, back to back with you guys. So today's what is actually, why am I wearing my glasses? Today I wanted to talk to you guys about me traveling alone. I started traveling a couple of cities alone. I started with Berlin, which I really like, all by myself. I think it was last spring or the spring before that. I'm not sure. Now, traveling by myself gives me the possibility to get to know myself. Everything's still fine. I'm sparkling too much. Getting to know myself better through traveling to different cities. I don't know who said this before. It's not the city that you're experiencing. It is you in the city. It is experiencing another aspect of you, another facet of you in that city. And I did notice that. So going to Berlin was, to me, very interesting because I love museums and I really had a lot of museums on my schedule. I just checked out the museums because I love it. I just love to go to museums. I know a lot of people that are like, I don't want to go to museums, they're boring. I get that there are a lot of people that don't like to go to museums, but if I'm in a large city, the kids, yeah, now I have to go into this. The kids are my neighbor kids, and they are running on the first floor. I'm in the basement of my house, and they're running on the first floor of their house. It just vibrates all the way down here. I mean, these are very great isolated houses here in Germany, I have to say, and that we have a basement. Look, this is a complete room. There's a window over here, so it's not like the darkest basement. It's just me talking to you guys from the basement. Then you can hear the kids running. So I'm always like, no, they're kids. They have to do this. It just happens. So I'm going to make the best of it. So yeah, traveling, especially in Europe, I think is very, very interesting. So I went to Prague with a friend. I went to London with a friend, but I went to Berlin alone. Now, going there alone is, to me, I could do whatever I wanted. I didn't have to debate if we're going to go in this museum or this. I really loved Berlin. It was a very nice place to go. And I can only recommend it to everyone traveling to Germany and wanting to know a little bit more about the history of Germany, especially the time of the Nazi. My grandmother did live in Germany during this time, and I interviewed her when I was 14. I find the footage of my grandmother that was born in 1920. I'm going to share it with you guys. But it's German, so I'm speaking German. We are speaking German in that interview. So yeah, guys, that was me talking a little bit about Berlin. It's one of the cities I would definitely recommend you go to when you come to visit Germany, just to figure out a little more about the German history, as I said before. Traveling through Germany with the train. They're not striking for any reason. Yeah, if they don't strike here in Germany, you can also travel through Germany with a backpack with the train. Specifically traveling as a woman alone, it was totally fine. I think you should be sure that you have a good hotel. This is something that, a safe and a good and a comfortable hotel. I do adore it. And this is something, you can go into a hostel if you dare, but I'm not sure if I would do that. It's just I'm not the type of person to go into a hostel. That was a little sidekick. Yeah, so I'm not the hostel type of person, a hotel type of person. I like luxurious. It doesn't have to be like the 5-star Ritz and the Hilton type of business going on. I mean, it would be nice, but I don't want to go to a city to pay for the hotel. I want to go to the city to look at the museums, to look at the architecture, which I really love. It's just like my favorite thing. Yeah, just to check out the way the complete infrastructure of the city is set up. And there's a difference from city to city, but then there's always this red thread that goes through German cities. It's always the same, the cathedral thingy in the middle of the city. Just totally interesting. I loved it. I loved to walk. I didn't even know that I was in eastern part of Berlin, to be honest. I walked to the Brandenburger Tor in about 12 to 15 minutes from where my hotel was. Maybe let it be 20. I'm a good walker. I always walk through city. I even walked through New York. People are like, why don't you take the metro? Yes, I can. And I would, and I will, and I did. That's another story. But I like to walk. And so in Berlin, I walked everywhere I wanted to go. I walked to the museums. I walked to the Brandenburger Tor. I walked to the Get Your Guide. Guys, I like Get Your Guide. The Get Your Guide was easy to handle for me. And I could just book tours of the city. And it was called Hinterhöfe of Berlin, which would be the backyards of Berlin, these little crazy little settings behind the buildings where people would live in, and they'd have things going on there. I mean, it's like if you live in Berlin and you do these kind of tours, for the tourists, it's really nice. It's kind of them to show us that, because these are the little backyards you wouldn't go into if you didn't prepare for the trip to Berlin. And the good thing was I did meet up with old friends. They showed me places where you could eat and have a good dinner. So we had Italian dinner in an Italian restaurant, and I actually usually don't like Italian restaurants because to me it's same old. But this one was a family-based restaurant in Berlin, which I might blend it in if I can find it, because it's really, I have to recommend this, really small. You hardly have any seats. You have to, of course, reserve your spot, and the food was just it was amazing. It was just, I don't know, I never ate anything like it. It was really tasty. Today, I just wanted to talk to you guys about traveling alone as a woman. It's fine. It's perfectly fine. Just be sure that you're safe. Don't catch the late trains. Catch the early bird trains, where people are commuting because they have to work, or people are going home to their family for the weekend or coming back from the weekend. So that's the safest time to travel, in my opinion. And I always reserved a spot. I did have the Bahncard first when I traveled to Berlin, which gave me was a affordable ticket in the first class, and I had my spot reserved. And the train service employees of the Deutsche Bahn, DB Deutsche Bahn, would come and bring you a coffee if you wanted one. Of course, you have to pay everything, but it's just this comforting way of traveling, because from where I traveled, from Cologne, I traveled I think it was 5 to 6 hours in that train. And I think it was about 5 hours in that train. Let it be 5 hours. I'm not sure. And I wanted comfort. I wanted my seat reserved. I wanted my peace and my rest. So I reserved a seat in the first class, the quiet section where I won't have a businessman on his phone, blah, blah, blah. Why am I showing this? I don't know. Okay, so that was a little bit of chit chat about Berlin and traveling as a woman alone. If you like it, then like it. Subscribe if you haven't already. What are you doing? Comment. I'm going to tell you all things God do. And be safe and be happy.